Thank you, Chair, Commissioner. Of the fundamental rights granted to EU citizens, the one that helps unite all of us the most is the right of freedom of movement in the European Union. This right, provided for in the treaties, is implemented by the Directive 38 from 2004, which lays out both the conditions and restrictions for EU citizens and their family members to move and reside freely within the territory of the EU. As of 1 January 2006, over 8 million EU citizens have exercised this right to reside in another member state, and millions more have used it to travel through the EU. As European Parliament's rapporteur on the evaluation of this directive, I must say that the concrete application of the right of the free movement of our citizens is seriously undermined by the member states, which puts them in breach of the treaties and of the directive. First, talking about the transposition by member states, we can say it has been poor at best. The Commission, along with two separate studies commissioned by the Parliament, point to a series of problems, some of them being breaches of core rights of EU citizens. These problems are highlighted in my report, and we have many unjustified administrative burdens, particularly for third country national family members, that include entry requirements and lengthy procedural delays, a lack of recognition of free movement rights to certain registered partners, including those that are in same-sex relationship, public policy exceptions to serve economic or security aims, which have ignored the principle of proportionality, resulting in abuses of expulsion orders. And we have certain nationals and ethnic communities have been intentionally discriminated against in relation to the rights they should be granted by the directive. Second, to those who choose to focus solely on abuses and misuses of this right, I agree that the issues are important, but I say Article 35 of the directive already provides to member states the possibility to fight against those abuses, such as marriages of convenience or fraud. You just have to implement it. I also want to mention that I have constructively cooperated with national parliaments, the Commission, as well as the jury rapporteur Monica Frassoni, who all share my concern over the aforementioned transposition problems and the need for all parties to help to resolve them immediately. My report also calls for a number of measures aimed at providing solutions. One of the most important and immediate steps that must be done is the creation by the Commission of comprehensive transposition guidelines. These guidelines would serve to provide clarity to interpretation of such notions as sufficient resources or public security. Once this has been done, it is up to the Member States to implement these guidelines, preferably by the end of 2009. Discriminatory transitional agreements that restrict the free movement of workers from Member States that joined the EU after 2004 must finally be repealed or revised. More funding must be allocated to help local integration measures for EU citizens residing in other Member States. And finally, the Commission must not hesitate to open infringement proceedings against Member States who are not complying with the directive. I think we have to recognize that Member States need finally to correctly apply and transpose the directive so these and other problems are resolved expediently. They shall not try to escape their duties in ensuring free movement by asking for a revision to water down the directive. The European Parliament firmly opposes such revision and thanks the Commission for doing the same. It is time for the Member States and the Council to ensure that Europe is a place where not only capitals, services and goods can circulate, but also our citizens. Without free movement, there is no Europe. Let me conclude by saying that I have tabled a revised oral amendment to a footnote of my report in order to take away any excuse for those who oppose free movement on a nationalistic, racist or homophobic basis, but who do not dare to declare it openly, to vote against my report. With the vote of tomorrow and the roll call votes, we'll see who supports Europe, European citizenship, free movement and citizens' rights without discrimination, and who does not. Thank you.